na ye nim tokwatin kireche bi a yakoso ewo ye twene Jonas ene tufuo item anye asanketwa na semu ye na enim sha twene Jonas na gana haya no wo na koku ase no te wona agya ekura bi ase one na bushafo ete na ebeto odwa se oye ala bi no timi de kopiem wo ye abrochire mamu a ebeka na America na kopiem wo de asisi ade atemidie na odidi eye impenifo no a enye asamketo a ye no se na nado ya aboa onim nyansa je se ma oka de enye asamketo a mebi nso aso 24 so no 24 de o se na nado no ka no ana wanye ne hwe no 24 de onfa no honye de enche no enu mu ama to kwachecheche ekoso pa enye asamketo a nene mu na twene Jonas ho akere no a enye asamketo ama yesi ananche ye be report twene Jonas from America to Ghana yensembre no nkotie nsem mu kire
Mahama Fragbara MP or MPP Vice President Dr. Baumiano in someone Edrosso in Muso Ede. It's young question some new issue. Samba Ebidu Uncomo. Aha, in Casseti. Madam,
to build stadia for them to encourage sports, and I believe that we've done quite a few already in terms of the multi-purpose sports stadia. We are doing 10. We've completed 6. 4 are almost done. And we are going to do another 5. So, I mean, the record is there that we've done 10. I think that we can do another 5 without much of a problem. Then the question came on the flat rate and whether second-hand clothing and spare parts will be paying the same rate. No, I think that the categories will be different. And with the flat rate, what we want to do is to bring a lot more predictability in import duty payment. At the moment, there isn't predictability, and there's a lot of discretion that seems to come in from time to time. And so what we are saying is that we're going to bring in a flat rate in cities. So if you are bringing in spare parts, and there's a 40-foot container of spare parts, you will know exactly what the duty is for the spare parts. Say 20,000 cedis or 15,000 cedis or 30,000 cedis. It's a flat rate. So when the 40-foot container arrives of the spare parts, then you know you'll pay 40,000. If you are bringing in second-hand clothing, and that is attracting 20,000 cedis duty, you will know beforehand that it will come. It's not that it will arrive and then the price will change because they will say the exchange rate has changed, so you pay more. But it will be a flat rate. So there's not going to be any confusion. Chicken will attract a different rate from, spare parts will attract a different rate from rice, will attract a different rate from second-hand clothing. But you will know beforehand, before you import the goods, they will all be published. And so that we get away from, these under-invoicing and misclassification issues. These are really hampering revenue collection. Many importers invest time in misclassifying. They'll bring in chicken and they'll say it is fish or something. But the misclassification and so on, we will have to deal with that. Then the issue about cars for teachers and what we want to do for journalists and all of that. I really believe that one of the major problems, and we address this in the manifesto, that hampers workers and livelihoods in our country is the fact that we operate a cash-based system. Unlike in the advanced world where they operate a credit-based system. So in ab initio, life is much harder if you are a teacher in Ghana versus if you are a teacher in the US or the UK. Even if you are paid the same amount every month, the teacher in the UK will consume probably 5 to 6 times more goods than you in Ghana. Why? Because they are able to obtain credit and pay over time. And so, we in Ghana here, we have to accumulate cash for whatever we want to buy. If you want to buy a car and the car is costing 100,000 or 150,000, you have to look for 150,000 to pay for the car. But if you were in the UK, you'll probably be paying 1,000 every month to pay for the car, or much less. But so your salary goes along a much longer way. So one of the things that we are bringing in as far as our manifesto is concerned is to move Ghana from a cash-based system to a credit-based system. It's very, very important, because the reason why the credit-based system works in the advanced countries, because they are able to compute credit scores for everybody. Credit scoring is key to a credit-based system, because it then assesses the risk of any borrower in terms of borrowing, money for a fridge or a car or a TV or whatever. So the credit scoring becomes very key. 14 years ago, I wrote a book on monetary policy and financial sector reform in Africa. This was in 2010. And in this book, I was making the case for why Ghana and Africa generally, we needed to move towards the credit-based systems. And the reason why is to really bring down the stress on living in our system. The reason why they are able to do what the credit system in the advanced countries is because the databases exist for the computation of the credit scores. So what you need, a unique identity that exists, address, it exists, financial inclusion, a bank account where it exists. So when we came into office, I was very clear in my mind where we wanted Ghana to go. We needed to put in place the digital address system, the Ghana card, which we have done. We needed to put in place the address system. When we looked at the address system, I realized that it was going to be very difficult to go with what we had before, street addresses and so on. So I proposed that we go with digital address systems. I mean, at the time, only one country in the world, Mongolia, had a digital address, a wholesale digital address system. Only one country in the world. But I said, look, Ghana should move in that direction because we can leverage on GPS technology and have a digital address system. Now, we have been able to get a digital address system, and we are the second country in the whole world to have a wholesale digital address system. Every part of Ghana, we can have a digital address. Now, then the third leg of this to allow us to get to credit scoring was to make sure most Ghanaians would have a bank account so that your financial transactions can be scored and monitored and so on. But when we came in, I realized that, of course, very small percentage of people had bank accounts, but a lot of people had mobile money accounts, and so I made the point that the key to get everybody financially included was to have